Hey there, toy collector friends and Bat fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Triple TC, that is the time-travelling toy collector, and today we are looking at another entry into the Batman Automobilia collection. Yes, it's that time again. This time we're checking out a Batmobile from Batman issue 25 from the 0 Year storyline. And this is a cute little Batmobile. I'm sure it's probably packing quite a punch, but it just presents as a really cute little Batmobile. So in a second, as per usual, we'll get this up, we'll have a look at it in the case, then we'll check out the lenticular backdrop, and then we will check out the vehicle in a lot more closer detail and taking it out of the case. Just before I do that, just a quick plea really. If you are someone who doesn't yet currently subscribe to this channel, welcome. It's lovely to have you here, particularly if this is your first time. But just a sort of quick plea, it would really help me make it to my next subscriber milestone if you could see your way to hitting that subscribe button. It's completely free, costs you not a penny, and it is also obligation free as well. So if you don't want to watch all the content that's released, obviously you don't have to. But it will keep you apprised of if there's more Batmobile stuff coming out or other Batman stuff or anything else that you might be interested in, whether it's Star Wars, Doctor Who, Battlestar Galactica, Transformers, G.I. Joe, could be anything really. There's all sorts of things going on. Thunderbirds, Terrorhawks, who knows, you name it, there'll be something knocking about somewhere. But it would be fantastic. I set myself independent milestones just to try and keep myself going instead of sitting here in the dark talking to, you know, myself, essentially, and hoping that there's somebody out there watching it. So if you are that somebody out there watching it, please like the video. It really lets me know that you're there. And as I say, a totally free subscription would mean the absolute world. Anyway, if you aren't up for that and you're just here for the video, let's get on with the video. So this is, as I mentioned, the latest entry that I'm looking at into the Batman Automobilia collection, as produced by Hero Collector and Eagle Moss quite a few years ago now. And I'm working my way through the various different models, not in the order they were released, just in a slightly semi-random order where I'm trying to mix up the different sort of styles and vehicles and vehicle types. So we can see this gives off a bit of a dragster type roadster vibe, at least to me it does. There's some lovely detailing, and you can see already through the case that it has that lovely metallic blue inked sheen on it, which I just think is fantastic. Really glistens, and then there's that really interesting gold detailing, not only on those side pipes, but also on the front and also on some of the pipe work and suspension there around the front wheels. It looks like there's plenty of police car action supporting this particular Batmobile, but let's get it out of the case and then we can take a look much more closely. Just release those sticky tabs there, and then the rest should be quite straightforward. Should just, there we go. I'll pop this down on the display on the rotating base there, although we won't be rotating, I don't think, today. So here's the lenticular backdrop, so you can see it picks up the lights there. So it's ridged with multiple layers of the image so that it can give a bit of a 3D or movement feel. Not a huge amount going on with this one in terms of the effect there, but it looks like it's a panel lifted directly out of the comic book, which is terrific. Lots of police officers armed, their police cars, Gotham City Police Department. That's fantastic. So it doesn't really tell us too much about the story. It's kind of hard to figure out from this any particular clues. But perhaps if you are a Batman aficionado and you're very familiar with Batman issue, what was it, 25? 0 Year, then by all means let us know in the comments down below. And I, for one, would be extremely grateful. So let's zoom in a little bit more on this vehicle. We can see the display base is, this is really interesting. I really love the colouring on this. Now, there's no additional props or anything to flesh out the display base, but I really love the colour palette. So we've got this lovely sort of, again, it's almost metallic-esque, isn't it? This lovely red colour with this blue here, which does, of course, marry up to the blue pool of light we have here on the on the panel there, so it does technically form a continuation of that. So that's really beautifully colour matched, I think. And it just makes the vehicle itself look like it's leaping out of the very pages that it actually first appeared in. Now, for those who are unfamiliar, these are bolted in, they're screwed in, so you can see the connecting parts there. We won't be taking it off that. We will just be taking a look along the side, round the back, round the other side, and then from the front to the rear. But it is, I think, quite a nicely self-contained Batmobile. It's not massive, so haven't got a big journey ahead of us. So we can see these lovely wide roadster wheels here with this lovely silver wheel trim, and you can actually see embedded in there the various braking discs. I think that's what I'm looking at there, on the inside of that wheel trim there. And then as we move along, you can see a side mounted exhaust brought out in that lovely sort of silver chrome type paintwork. Talking of the paintwork, we can see that beautiful, I mentioned it a little earlier, beautiful metallic blue that dominates the side of the car, well, dominates the entire car really. And we have these three on this side, and it's also mirrored on the other side, these three gold pipes. Now they look like pipes. Again, I don't have access to the magazines anymore, as they were regrettably destroyed inadvertently, not by myself, but such is life. So I'm without access to that. So if you know what these are and what they're for, then do please let me know in the comments down below. We've also got a blacked out driving space. Now what's really noticeable for me here is there's no obvious door. Now usually these models are really good at pulling out all of the details, but there's no door. So I don't know how you access this car. Again, I don't know whether it's a concealed door hidden behind the golden pipework, but I can't see it. So again, if you know how, let me know down in the comments below. The rear wheel matches the front wheel there, it's beautifully done. There's an interesting rear section here, so maybe this is how you access the car, because there's no obvious thrust or engine elements here. Unless it is this, but this doesn't really look like it. But maybe that's a sort of access port to get in to the vehicle. You can see how the pipework here, the gold pipework, wraps itself around the rear of the car, and we carry on round to this side. So the wheel here and again at the front essentially mirrors the same thing we've already seen on the other side, as does the pipework, and there's still no suggestion of a door. So I am wondering if that is how you get in and out. There's a chute there at the back, very Batman-y. We have a repeat of that silver side exhaust, which suggests that that's where all the engine action is happening up the front, and it's exhausting there, which again, I'm beginning to think this is how you gain access to the Batmobile, because there clearly isn't any need for a rear engine. And then we come around to the front and we can take a look at what we have here. So the front consists of this very prominent nose section, which has a sort of lower, almost like a battering ram layout there, with some beautiful gold inlays there. We've also can see some of the suspension work, as well as this sort of gold steering assembly, for want of a better phrase. But yeah, so there's lots of exposed detailing there, which really does make me think of this as a bit of a hot rod type of car. And you can see some additional silver pipework that's tucked behind those wheels, really giving it that sort of roadster, dragster type of feel. Then as we progress up the bonnet, we get a beautiful hood ornament, which again is one of those things that's very likely to be the thing that breaks off. They do like to always have something in these models that is likely to be a thing that breaks off. In this case, it is that hood ornament, but it is beautiful, and it's a lovely bat. As we follow along the line, there is some ridging there on that bonnet, so you can see the ridging display there on the bonnet. I'm letting the light catch it for you. And then we take a little look along the top. The driving canopy is slightly, ever so slightly shaped, I'm not suggesting it's shaped like the sort of the bat wings, but it's a little indicative of the proper bat signal, the bat symbol, which of course across the rest of the vehicle is notably missing. And we don't really have anything else. There's no other sort of surface detailing or mechanical detailing or access detailing elsewhere on this vehicle. So all in all, it's a very self-contained vehicle. I do love that sort of mechanical detailing around the front there, though. I do have to tell you that. But what a wonderful, curious little entry into the Batman Automobilia range. As I say, there's a lot going for this model. I really, really like the color scheme. I like you can feel the sort of ink behind it, if you know what I mean. I could see this on the pages of Batman issue 25 very, very easily. And it just does feel that it's been produced to be of an era. Now, I know, or I don't know, but I'm assuming Batman 0 Year is like a retrospective perspective story. And that suggests it was probably written more recently than way back in the original sort of 1950s, 1960s. So I'm guessing it's retroactively designed to fit into a period long gone. But it works for me. I think it's a really, really beautiful model. And again, there's a couple of what the next two that I'm already looking at to sort of pre-record and get ready to release also have some very distinctive lines and very distinctive styles. So I'm going to move from this one to doing those two. If you have a preferred Batmobile that has not been covered yet, do let me know if it's one of the ones that's been released in the Automobilia collection, and I will seek it out and I will put it on the playlist. Do check the playlist though, because I've had a couple of people request stuff that I have already done and it is already in the playlist. So to avoid, well, hopefully it doesn't create disappointment because it's already there. But to avoid me second guessing myself and be about to re-record something that I've already done, do check the playlist first, and then you can see it. And then if there's something else that you want, let me know that in the comments. But yeah, do please check the playlist first, because all in all, I think there's certainly 80 in the basic playlist. There's 80 in the basic release, plus there's quite a few special editions that were released as well, some of which I've already done. As I say, I'm not doing them actually in the order they were released, but do check out the playlist. It's your safest bet. You don't have to sit and watch all of them, but you can just scroll down the playlist to see if the one you're looking for is there, and if it's not, let me know. But you might find some interesting ones you didn't know about in the process of doing that. So enjoy. Once again, thank you for being with me as I've taken a look at this Batmobile from Batman issue 25, 0 Year. You've been a fantastic companion. I've been the Triple TC, that's the time traveling toy collector, and this has been part of the Batman Automobilia range as produced by Hero Collector and Eagle Moss back in the day. It just remains for me to say that I hope to see you in a future, or of course a past video very soon, and that a thing of beauty really is a toy forever. Take care. Bye bye for now.